Hey guys, welcome back to Pistons Talk. In today's video, what I wanted to discuss Chauncey Billups news and how it does relate to Malik Beasley. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we got a tweet this morning from ABC News that Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups has been charged in illegal poker operations tied to the mafia. Law enforcement sources have told ABC News. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested in a separate but related betting case. I'm just telling you guys, I wake up this morning and, the group text that I'm in just blowing up, right? Friends of the show, Sean Murphy, Eric Vince, we have a group text together. And I just get a bunch of like texts this morning. I'm like, man, what the hell is going on? Like, are people still crashing out over the Pistons game last night? Obviously, it's not the way we wanted to start the season. It had nothing to do with that. Like, this is crazy. If you would have told me that former Detroit Piston Chauncey Billups got arrested off of playing poker, and it's more than just playing poker. The more I read, there was a lot of illegal activity there from the reports that have come out from the FBI and other people that have been covering this story. Man, I would have called you crazy, but wow. Now, I did mention, how does this relate to Malik Beasley? As we know, Malik Beasley has been going through investigations with the FBI, investigations with the NBA. Now, Pablo Torre, if you guys know, he did a huge video on an NBA Twitter user of the name of Moose and talked to him, tracked him down. If you guys haven't watched that podcast, I definitely encourage you to do so. They talked about Malik Beasley for about 15 minutes, but they actually kind of dug into this mafia that is tied to not only like Malik Beasley, possibly Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, Jonte Porter. But we got a tweet from Pablo Torre. And Pablo Torre says sources tell Pablo Torre to find out Malik Beasley's fate is also hinges on the DOJ announcement. And the MB was previously investigated and cleared by the NBA for, quote, making a bet or two on another sport. Sources: the NBA is under strict confidentiality, but you can't control the government. Pablo also went on to tweet about Malik Beasley, saying, update, a high-level NBA source says the league investigation of Malik Beasley, quote, didn't find anything, end quote, but also didn't technically close as NBA deferred to a separate, sprawling federal investigation. Another source says Beasley voluntarily handed over his phone to league investigation. So that does kind of tie in the Malik Beasley factor with this Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier situation. If you guys are curious, Terry Rozier was also being investigated for alleged gambling. He's kind of tied into this mafia that is kind of surrounding all these NBA players. It's really wild. But I did want to play a clip, and it does relate to Malik Beasley as well. Trajan Langdon was on 97.1 The Ticket 3 days ago. They were interviewing him, talking about possible contract extensions with the Pistons, but he was asked about Malik Beasley, and this is what he had to say about the investigations.
Is there anything new on that front?
No, definitely nothing new there. So, for his sake, I'm really hoping that he can get cleared, but obviously still under investigation by the league and the feds. So, for his sake, I hope they can figure this thing out and he can get back to working.
So I think what's really important with this clip from 97.1, courtesy to them, for this interview, Trajan has been asked this a couple of times. We had posted a video when he was on NBA TV, and they had asked him about Malik Beasley. He said, hey, we haven't had any conversations. If he does clear investigations, we're open to conversations with Malik Beasley. He had said, like, they planned on just giving him the full mid-level exception of what they gave Karis LeVert. And bringing him back because he was such a big factor to the Detroit Pistons last season. Now, he said, no, we haven't talked to him. He's still under investigation from the feds and the NBA. But this is a very big development, especially with the Pablo Torre report saying again that, another source, Beasley, voluntarily handed over his phone to league investigators, but they didn't find anything. But, investigations are still ongoing. Just give you guys a quick little update with this. But the Chauncey news, man, that's honestly crazy. The Terry Rozier thing. Hope Malik Beasley can get cleared, hoping he can sign with an NBA team sooner than later. Hopefully these investigations don't get dragged out. Terry Rozier went through legal cases for over a year, and then they arrested him today. Very similar situation to Malik Beasley. He was a target, got downgraded to a subject. Same thing happened with Bees. He was subject as a target to a subject. Not speculating anything, but I just really hope that he can get cleared and he can play basketball again. Now, could it be with the Detroit Pistons? I'm not entirely sure. The Pistons have not filled out their roster. They still have an available roster spot available. I mean, it was reported earlier this summer from Clutch Points that the Pistons have been kind of just a wait and see approach, wait and see what happens with these investigations, with the FBI, with the NBA. And if he is cleared, that they were open to bringing him back, open to, giving him that final and last roster spot with the Detroit Pistons. And I think another thing is worth noting, and we'll wrap this video up, is Beasley's camp had stated that they're looking for, north of a veteran minimum contract. A lot of the teams that had reached out to Malik Beasley outside of the Detroit Pistons are teams like the New York Knicks, like the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they were only offering veteran minimum contracts. Where it's kind of fortunate with the Detroit Pistons, they still hold Malik Beasley's non-bird rights. And they're able to give him more than the veteran minimum contracts that he's received elsewhere from other NBA teams. They can offer him up to over $7 million for a 1-year deal to come back to the Detroit Pistons and fill out that final roster spot. But let me know what you guys think of this update. The Chauncey Billups news, Terry Rozier news, just all this gambling investigations, all these federal investigations, just a wild time we're living in. I'll talk to you guys down below in the comment section. And like always, hope you guys are staying safe. Take care. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.